Hey everybody, and welcome back to South Island Farm. Hey Roy, what's up? Went ahead and recovered from our little crash last night. Finished seeding and cultivating and everything on the barley field. Are just about done cultivating what is going to be an oat field. And then we've got a decision to make. Are we going to put in 2 fields of soybeans? Are we going to combine the bottom 2 fields into one? Or are we going to put in maybe another field of canola? Hey Will, hey Jonathan, and John. What's up everybody? Hey Roblox, Josh. Welcome to the stream. We're also going to see if we can't maybe sell off the last bit of our silage so we can sell that trailer. Not sell it, but return that trailer. Not paying the lease fees on it. Hey John, how you doing? See, the lease costs are slowly chewing things down. We did have to buy another bag of seed. Barley field there was a little bit bigger than I had thought. Took a couple hours today to get that caught back up and seeded and everything. What we're going to do is, while we are doing field work like this, we're going to run 5 times speed. But when we get to planting, I'm going to drop it down to 1. Simply because I want to minimize the chance that we will have crop growth while I am actually planting. Hopefully then the whole area is single state. Roy, thanks for the Father's Day. We are I am indeed a father. I have 2. One is 15 and one is 5. Morning, David. It's early for you, isn't it? All right, that'll do us for that field. Let's take a look at the PDA and remind everybody where we are. So, canola, barley, oat, soybeans, or canola. Because we're only going to plant what we have in the coon, or that's available in the coon planter, and that's basically wheat, barley, oat, canola, and soybeans. And given the prices, I was inclined to put barley in, because barley is usually more valuable than wheat. Why price differential is like that? Maybe we won't double up on the canola. Maybe we'll put wheat in. Josh, I don't know if I have a favorite. Though you'll see me drive this around quite a bit. Partially because it's a good value for the power. 150 horsepower for under $100,000. Has 3-point. on there. I don't know. Do I have the other one in? This is like this tractor too, but I can't. I don't have a front 3-point. Get him up to 60,000, 145 horsepower, but he doesn't have a front 3-point. I don't have the other one in. Like these a lot, but cost just a little bit more than I was wanting to do. So we've got 130,000 liters left to sell. We should be able to get that sold off today. Get rid of this trailer. Then at midnight, whatever money we have is what we've got. He'll harvest. David, I haven't had a chance to try off Bergman at all since it was updated. Did look like they have, well, they've effectively reduced the speed of the milk in the pastures by basically doubling the capacity of the jugs. I was kind of concerned that it seemed like the milk, the jugs just got produced way too quick. Especially on a server, it's like all you ever did all day was take the jugs off the tables. Hey, what's AK in the hay? Oh no, Jimmy. Well, you can put Jimmy Buffett on if you want. Put Jimmy Buffett on the stream. Hopefully they fixed the cow pasture that just took water. They didn't seem to be doing anything. I did test out a pre-release update copy a couple weeks ago to validate and test a couple things, but no, I haven't put any time into the latest update. Alright, what did I say we were going to do? We were going to put oats in this one. Oh, there we had crop growth. Let's turn this back down. Did weed. I did come in here and weed this field. Been weeded also. Custom crop textures in here. I tried. I can't. Got to cultivate by hand. I can't hire a worker to cultivate and create the field. Can hire a worker to plant. So we put a good enough boundary around the middle of the outside of the field. The horses were the one that was over by the sheep, goats. Ones that only took water. They were having a problem in version 1 with basically never improving. They were just on a constant decline. Hey Darren, what's up? Hey Cheryl, what's up? Just over here on South Island, trying to get going. Working these fields in one at a time. Hey Jacer, what's the bread and water comment? You talking about the horses? Well, the concept with that is, you know, they're going to just eat the pasture grass. All you need to do is give them water. We're putting oats in at the moment. They seem to have a fairly decent price. I know yield is a little low compared to other things, but the price is higher. If we should ever think about horses here on the island, we'll need oats. I think at a minimum, what we'll do is one full harvest cycle. And at that point, maybe put the bottom field into grass after the first harvest cycle. Get multiple grass cuttings per harvest. And the horses don't take that much. But I don't want to spend money on horses now because, one, I don't have any grass. I didn't keep any. Two, I don't have any oats at all. And three, I want to make sure that I do actually have money to get through the first harvest. Oh, we're good for a while. Won't run out for a little bit. Hey, what's up, Nathan? Talking about the 8R that custom modding did? We'll get fuel when we run out of seed. How about that? Got to go all the way to the dock to get fuel. Got to go all the way to the dock to refill our seed. So fuel should hold out till then. I mean, we've got almost 8 hours on the tractor, and we're at 3/4 of tank. So we should be able to go the entire stream without needing fuel, based on fuel per hour usage. Oh wait, that's maintenance. We got less than 3/4 of a tank of fuel. I was looking at the maintenance. We need to maintain the tractor too, I suppose. One more round. Then we'll start our up and downs. I stay out of drama as best I can. I was never a good actor in college or high school, so yeah, drama doesn't attract me very well. I think lots of folks like the look of the map, Dead Man or Deed Man, and everyone's eagerly waiting its release. Not sure how much longer it's going to be. I'm sure Will wants to try to see if we can find as many of those little gotchas as possible. And nobody likes a map update where you need to start a new save game. Times it's inevitable, but goal is that those types of updates aren't needed. Anything that would require a new save game is caught before it goes out. Now, the beauty of this cedar is going to be that once we harvest, I shouldn't need that cultivator anymore, because this cedar should allow direct planting. Once we have the last 3 sections of this area cut in, you can also get rid of that cultivator. keep the corner on the seated area. Let's see how well that's skipping. Skip. Yeah. Try to square that off a little bit. This section and this section, and then we can get rid of the cultivator too. Probably not. I'm probably not going to put any other production in on this because I don't want to waste the money on the placeable. Remember, we got a $500,000 loan. We're going to have to pay that back at some point in time. Yeah, that's going to be eating down our finances every day. Also, we're going to have to figure out how much money we need to really keep back and then pay off the loan as best we can, as quick as we can. We don't have that interest. There we go. I think we squared it off now. While the helper is temporarily seeding, can you get some more silage sold? Elon, what's up? Example of pointed this out earlier today. It's quite the lip here to get up into the building on this side. We've got a little bush coming through. There isn't a lip on this side, nothing too bad. It's all manageable. But the lip on the other side was pretty pronounced. Alright, well let's fill this up. That'll get us close to 50,000. Then when it empties next, we should be able to pretty much drain the silo on the next batch. And off we go. Try to keep it around 0 degrees. Should work. The textures are really nice. I think they're Forgotten Plants from LS Mod Company. Not off again. So, hey Ashley, what's up? At this time, map is probably not going to be destined for consoles to believed texture incompatibility. The way Giants is going, they'd probably be like, "We'll pass the map if you put trees on it." That's what they did with Custom Modding's John Deere. Basically said, it passes all our tests, it's great, works fine. We won't pass it until you get the doors to open. Did see posted where someone put a teaser video out for one of the mods that are going to be entered into the mod contest. Apparently it's a Kloss baler that is also a rapper. Looked pretty interesting. Had nice dramatic theme and music, get you all excited and all riled up. Yeah, indeed, man. They definitely. If you look on Facebook, it's all around where basically. I mean, that's the conjecture. Is basically Giants failed it and said, "We'd like to see you make the doors open." I'm paraphrasing a little bit, but that was basically the gist of it. So here's your fail stamp. And if you make the doors open, we'll put it on the mod hub. 6th of June is the that's fine, Darren, to authorize. It is. I agree. 6th of July, sorry, is the submission deadline. And then if the timing is similar to what they did in last year's contest, or not last year's, but 2017's contest, then the mods should be available for download and judging by players within a week of the submission deadline. So at that point, all the mods in the mod contest, players, PC players now, will be able to download those, use them, evaluate them, and then basically vote on them, rank them, or rate them. And then I think voting ends July 20-something. And at FarmCon is where the winners will be announced. We're about to run out of seed. Yeah, Richard, it's barren. There's your only tree. Rest of the map is weedy grass. A few buildings here or there. Think of it as an old abandoned island. Farm on it at some point. Weather station. BGA to provide electricity to the weather station. There's a few random buildings. Solar panels around. Now that the BGA is down, need some form of power. We'll get it, Jacer. We'll get it. We got 29 liters of seed. Probably run out on this pass. We'll go get seed, get fuel, and top off maintenance. There you go. Let's tie the zombie apocalypse into the map. That'll work. Hey, Fernando, what's up? 3, 2, 1, 0. All right. Let's go. Get some seed, get some fuel. Know if you want the compost that's going to come out of that. Of course, with these roads being gravel, you could even clear these out if you wanted to. Hey, Duca, what's up? Sure, you can ask. I don't know, there's 39 other folks watching. They might have an idea. All right, let's see if I got Workshop Tabber in. There's some bales there. They must be pretty rotten. Shows how long they've been there. All right, let's see if this trigger works. Oh, we don't have workshop tabber in. Check. Maintenance trigger works. Here's a paved road. You can't get rid of this one. Which map? I'll be honest. I never had Courseplay. Never set Courseplay up to do anything like that before. Oh. Not really sure how an old bus got here. Where on earth? Who on earth would have brought this bus over here? The bus is perfect for the zombies, right? Maybe one day we'll be able to get this truck up and running. I'll find another wheel for it. It's back here. Magical, transparent. Walk through barrel, walk through trash, walk through trash. Maybe we can get this thing up and running one day. Be a free tractor. Free header. What else we can walk through? Lots of steel here. We can sell this. Be good on the scrap shaker. And who's emptying this trash out? Alright, let's get some fuel. Back to work. Ah, I see. There's a more back there. This would be an interesting multiplayer map. A few tweaks. Hey, Paul, what's up? I see the farmhouse had solar panels. And indeed, Richard, except, well, can't afford it unless you cheat money in. What do you think? You give everybody $500,000. Check the. So you give everybody $500,000. They get a deed to the land. They don't have to buy their land. Everyone gets 500 grand. Basically, carve their fields up, buy their equipment, put down any buildings they want. Main farms off limits. So that way nobody gets a free silo. Yeah, well, I think the multiplayer folks that have played on maps that have just one sell point kind of have demonstrated that one sell point on a multiplayer map just is not a good idea. Deliberate or not, one person really has the ability to completely wreck the economy for everybody else. Because they might come in and, if you have, let's say, big corn harvest, okay, then you might wreck the corn economy for everybody else for days. And from the standpoint of when that one sell point is open only for just a short amount of time, you might play for a week and never be able to get on when the sell point's open to do anything. It's a completely different story when you're single player. Obviously, you're available every time, every minute of the day. But in multiplayer, you're not available every minute of the day. And you might find it really, really hard to legitimately find a top opportunity to get on in the sell points available. This would be a great map for the folks that are either the anti-forestry folks or the folks who bank on earning a ton of money by doing forestry. Basically say, okay, well, there's no forestry, so figure it out. You could, Paul, but there's no way to sell the trees. So trees are good for shade. About all they're good for. Nobody wants wood chips. Nobody wants logs. Zero use for straw. Zero use for hay. Unless you put animals in. Put animals in, you got to pay to have them delivered because there's no animal buy point. You got to pay the surcharge to get the animals brought over from the mainland anyway. Well, you can make s'mores by basically putting your chocolate on the engine block for a few minutes, and well, you just hold the marshmallow over the exhaust pipe. Carbon monoxide is just adds to the flavor. I like this. Like right now, we've got 2 fields planted, both at completely different stages. So we're going to have 3 fields planted at 3 different stages. I think what we'll do is cultivate the other 2 fields up, and maybe at that point it'll be evening, nighttime. We can jump to tomorrow. This field should have a growth stage. The other 2 fields will have growth stages. Then we could plant those game day tomorrow. Then we'll have all of our fields basically at different growth stages, as opposed to everything being in all one stage. Which will then mean we basically have to get them all planted again too. Well, thankfully the diesel wasn't overly priced. Map's not released yet, but I could have seen Will doubling the cost of fuel because it's got to be brought in. You know, speaking of def, I put the def mod in. I activated it. And lo and behold, tractor I pick doesn't have it. A bean burrito. How's work been today? Well, the truck has DEF in it, and the harvester will, hopefully, maybe. Sure, I could edit this mod and make it add it. Then I suppose it wouldn't be over realistic. Although I don't know when these Avarats are done. Resident expert who does is it tractor time? What is it? Talking tractors, that's it. Classics Talking Tractor series. I don't know if you did a favorite, whatever you want to call it. I don't know if you did Talking Tractors on that product line or not. Thanks, Chad. Same to you if it applies. And everyone else that if it applies. Just in case if we have another odd system crash. I don't want to lose 2 hours worth of stuff. I think it's funny that you have autosave, but you have to go into the menu before it does its thing. I was near 40 when we had our second. Yeah, one of those kids, Raznik, apparently voided your void game. Now, what would make it a little better is every time you got shot, if you grunt, that would make that just even more better. That's right, more better. Almost done this. Maybe another dozen or so passes. Yeah, that works. Yeah, I could I could see how that would be surprising. One one would ask, where did that thought come from? Where did that idea even enter in your head? So for a little change of pace, we'll cut this over. All right. Later. What are we doing next? We're going to be cultivating the next field. We sell down our silage some more. Field right over there. Don't need to fertilize this at all because the grass grew. Then, by the time we get those two fields cultivated, it'd be nighttime. We'll see how much money we get from all that grass that we made into silage. That'll be all done. I have a general idea of how much money we have left over. tide us into harvest. This is a modded version of this tractor. You can really tell when it revs up. Under idle. Plus the smoke is nice and white. Turn on this cedar. Nice brown smoke, dark smoke. Engine's revved up. Real sense that this thing is working. David, we probably will lease the harvester. We'll have to see. I haven't made up my mind. I mean, if we were doing seasons, we would definitely lease the harvester because be so much time between harvests. Without seasons, I don't have the growth control in. So in theory, I guess we could schedule it so we're always harvesting. Really, we just gotta see how much money we got. I don't expect to have more than 250,000 carry us over. Right. That one. Go ahead and take this up here. We're going to be done seeding for the day. Here. It is exciting, isn't it? All the stuff that they've announced. It'll definitely be a lot different gameplay. and different from gameplay of 17 too. With the various things that they've announced. All right, we'll be back here after a little bit. So I've bumped the clock up to 5. Whoa. That would have been good. Yeah, in 17 there was a salt spreader mod that would let you clear off the roads by putting salt down. Go. Zoom out so we can kind of get an idea of how things have been carved up. See your canola field over there. Our barley field. Our oat field. I think this will be soybeans. After I had all this mowed, I basically just took this and started down there at the bottom corner. Just drove around edge. Then when I thought I had about enough of an area that I wanted, just cut across the field to the other edge. Just pretty much all by the just guessing. Well, yeah, that seems to be about good. Crossed. The other one's just kind of, yeah, that feels. I didn't want any one field to feel like it was too big for the equipment that I was going to use. I was pretty much stuck at 150 horsepower. I figured cultivating this whole area was one field with something that would fit on a 150 horsepower tractor. That would just feel like it was just going to take forever. And then to seed was something that would only take a 150 horsepower tractor. That was going to just take forever. So carved it up into 5 more manageable spaces. Not square. They're not overly unsquare either. This does not give the plow state. It just allows you to create fields with a cultivator. Look here. I've got need plowing turned off visually because I don't need to see that. We also need to line this stuff up. So we don't need to fertilize anymore. So I'm just taking the approach that I'm just going to take the yield hit on not plowing. I could always just turn plowing required off, but what's the fun in that? If you cultivate a grass field right after the grass has been cut, you'll get one stage of fertilization. If you cultivate in grass that could be mowed again, then you end up getting 2 stages. I think that's how it's working. Yeah, see, there's no fertilize here. There's no fertilization state here at all. So I'm basically getting those stages. This area here and here, here, and this area here basically was where I mowed after the first growth stage. And I only got one stage of fertilization here. That was when I went around and cultivated the outside edges. And on the stream the other day, when we were cultivating in our canola field, we had to basically fertilize a lot of that field because we were cultivating it in before we really had a growth on the grass back. Now that the grass is, has some height to it, it's giving us both stages. Try to cut a straight line across. Built-in compass down there. Hey, Johnny V, what's up? I'm glad you're still here. I'm still there. 80. Nice and straight. How's the weather down under? Guess this is your winter. What's it get cold to? What's cold down under? I know a guy that grew up in Brazil. His idea of cold is like 50. It's 0 C, because us Americans are the only ones that think in F's. That's 32, like 30 Fahrenheit. That's nice and cool. Cold's like 3 or 4 degrees Fahrenheit. Hey Michael, good morning to you. Too early into Monday to ask you how's Monday. Yeah, 0 C is 32 Fahrenheit. 32 Celsius is like really stinking hot. .32 C is nice. .50 C is hot. Oh well, 90 could be warm. 90 could be hot, depending on the humidity. Yeah, we'll get in the summer something nasty like 70-80% humidity. like architectural drawings. That's it. It's the last of the silage. No more money after this. I mean, I guess we could go around and mow grass around the BGA area, but got rid of our mower. Okay, so kind of construction drawings. Schematic drawings. Get rid of this before we get another day on it. It's not released yet, Michael, but it will be soon. Still doing some shakedown, if you will. Hey, 18 gears, what's up? Off this little triangle. That little field done. And like I said, we'll get the section there behind us. We'll fast forward tomorrow. Told GTX to hurry up. I wouldn't mind GTX hurrying up and getting Global Company out. Of course, I think that's a mod contest thing, so... Oh... CS works on his own schedule. Get some nice wear on this cultivator. Some nice shiny disc edges. Nice to see. Exciting times to see what people have been working on. Think about all the stuff that's been released in the mod hub over the last several weeks. And all of that stuff, there's got to be even better stuff. Folks are holding back for the contest. Go. All right. Cut this about in half. All over again. Go. And like I said, we just got that little section in front of us. There you go. Maybe by next weekend. I don't know, Paul. There were so many good maps in 17. I don't know if I could name a single one. So many that had unique attributes. I'd agree with that list of three. I'd add Serenity Valley 2, Rise of Industry. I'd add Willow Farms to the mix. I'd add Hofbergman to the mix. Basically, any map that's in any of my playlists for 17, I'd add to the mix. What was that? What was that last Black Sheep map? Whatever that one was. Name escapes me. That's it. South Mountain Creamery. Well, Paul, I know it's there. I just don't know exactly where it is. I think it's over by the fence between some stacks of lumber. But the sell wood icon isn't there. I've got half of a mind to think that you need to basically put it on the ground. I know we've got folks in my Discord that have that have found it. Soft Noskanaut. Rejuvenated, whatever. Extended. Enhanced edition. What's up, doughboy? Well, the other stream, chat wasn't working. Nothing showed up until I decided that something must be up, and I refreshed the screen. That's fine. Guy streaming doesn't need to be the center of attention. Although, well, it's a little counterintuitive. Happy Father's Day to you. Hope your job hunt has been somewhat successful. And here's to hoping you put that gaming system back together, get back online, and start having a little fun. Hey Nick, what's up? Oh, so next week as in 2 weeks from now, not next week as in tomorrow. But Darren, what's funny is the watching counter worked. Saw there were people watching. Still one was chatting. Well, dude, boy, you can tell them that since they forgot, they can make it up by celebrating the Australian Father's Day, which is in September. Oh, I don't think I should. We grew up on, or I grew up on International Harvester. Farmall International Harvester. May have been before they were Case. Now it is Case IH. You know, you use them in the same sentence. Pretty sure the tractors we had didn't have Case on them at all. They just said International Harvester, or in case of the older tractors, International Harvester Farmall. So, are we talking about checking something? Would have thought. So here's the last one. I did. We did finish mowing the grass. By the time we finally got around to getting it all worked in, rode back. I wasn't going to be starving farmer enough to mow it a second time. The biggest tractor we had was a 960. I think we got that fairly new, time in the late 80s, mid 80s, maybe. And then we had an 806 that had been around quite a while. Had a 460 with narrows on the front. Tricycle type setup. Then we had a Super H. And we had an H. An H in the shed that never really went anywhere. I don't know if it started anywhere. It basically sat there all the time I ever saw it. We had a loader tractor. I don't know what that was. It was. I don't know if it was a case or not. International. An old blue Ford grain truck. Then we had a kind of a dark green International grain truck. I saw 98% together. We're missing a few DLCs. Take it that's Anderson and Washington. The only tractor we had that had a cab on it was the 986. What they told me, I never drove it. What they told me, the air conditioner was, well, it blew air. I don't think it did much conditioning. Yeah, it was a sophisticated fan system, and now we did have a John Deere harvester, self-propelled harvester. No clue what the model number was. No clue. Kind of looked like that mod that Raznik used on the forestry map he did. Kind of. Most of that equipment is now gone. Well, Doughboy, I think lots of folks are hoping seasons comes soon. We could only have seasons before the mod contest. That would be so awesome. Not me that doesn't allow it, it's YouTube. From this shot, we can look way across the map. The nice rolling hills, farm that we can use but can't own. Great demand at the granary for something we don't have. Rock picker. Every one of us was born with a rock picker. Got 5 fingers attached to them. Rock pickers where I grew up would be useless. Not as fast as you get them out of the field, they grow back. But apparently out in the Midwest, out in Iowa, Indiana, Illinois, there aren't rocks. You apparently dig a giant hole and chance of hitting a rock would be next to 0. Yeah, back in the days of manual labor. Nowadays you see pictures or videos of folks baling with these giant square bales, driving around with tractors with cabs on them, streaming from the cab. Loading these giant bales with loaders. All the baling we did were the little squares. On a good day, we'd put up maybe 1,000, 1,200. We do that for a couple weeks on end. Then you get a little bit of break so you can do some maintenance on the baler. About the time you start thinking you're about, you don't have too much left to do. Well, it's time to do another cutting of alfalfa or hay, Timothy. Or about that time, maybe the wheat's ready. Then you got a bunch of straw to bring in. Are nearly done. Good thing too, because it's about to get dark. So 1.4 is supposed to drop on Tuesday, and hopefully part of the changelog is that they have a fix for some of the day night transitions, I think. Bale stacker. You know what a bale stacker is? Usually two guys up in the barn. Then there's a guy called the bale tosser, who's at the door of the barn, gets the bale off the elevator or conveyor belt, whatever you want to call it, tosses it to the bale stacker. If you got two bale stackers, he's got to be bright enough to know how to toss it to one, then the other, and then back to the first. And then your bale picker, he's down on the wagon. He has the wonderful job of basically destacking the maze or the puzzle of the bales that have been tossed into the wagon with a bale kicker from the baler. So they're just in some jumbled mess. So you spend half of your energy trying to free up bales and figure out which bale is going to be the easiest to pull off. Those were the picker stackers, and that was the picker stacker combo that I grew up with. Well, that means you didn't stack them tight enough. Falling through. Or it means the guy running the baler didn't have them the tensioners tight enough. They weren't getting baled good. Super A. Never had hooks. Well, I should say we had 5 hooks. 4 hooks and a thumb. Stuck. Oh, you climb out. Your leg goes in, your leg comes out. Alright. It is it. Take this back to the barn trigger and return it. Indeed, there's lots of room for placeables if you can afford the land. Land's not cheap. Money's hard to come by, so you'll have to either cheat it in, or it's going to take you quite a while to be able to afford the land to afford the placeables. That wear. Really nice wear on this one. Just in game. Can't return it here. Can't return it. Why can't I return it? I'm not repairing it. I'm not spending money on it. Dang nabbit, I'm lazy. I leased it. I'm not getting my deposit back. Not gonna fix it. Definitely ain't repainting it. Alright, well. Weeds. Kidding me? that. Weeds. I don't want I don't want the crop to get any taller. I don't have narrows. If it's least, I can't change it. So guess we'll be weeding into the sunset. Oh, I can't. We're not going to cheat any money in. I can't waste any money. Can't take out a loan. We maxed that out. BO, go everything to the bank. Can't even take a loan out to get anything else. Run out of cash and can't afford to harvest our field. Can't afford to replant. And in essence, we go bankrupt. We're done. Well, this was under 98K and it was 150 horsepower. Sadly, you don't get any trading credit. Yeah, Warspite, that would be super cheap tractors. That's like cheating. Did a challenge back in 17 where you were allowed to use mods Basically, the mod had to be authorized, had to be validated that it had pricing that was realistic. Tractor that was like $20,000, but really should have been more like $70,000. Either wouldn't be allowed at all, or you would be required to edit it, make it worth $70,000. Take a look at this. So this is a modded vent. Got fender. That. Minus tires. So that was pretty much 85,000 for a 150 horsepower tractor. 43.72 to lease it, and then $1,800 an hour, $857. Take a look at this. $98,000, $49.97, $400 more. It was 18 or 16. So $400 or $200 more per hour and more per day. Just an extra 20 horsepower. Really not struggling for horsepower. Yeah, that mod was pretty cool for, if you're looking for something old. I'm sure the horsepower wasn't 100% accurate. I suspect it really wasn't that powerful in real life, but since lease price is I don't know what the percentage of, but it's basically calculated on a percent of the purchase price. Then all your lease prices kind of will self-adjust when you fix the pricing. All right, later my account, and in fact, probably going to be hanging it up here also. Is almost 11:15. Morning will come pretty quick. Let's go ahead and take this up here to the edge of the field. Call it a night. Well, Cartman, it might be out next weekend. Have to see, unless anything unexpected comes up. So guys, with that, we're going to go ahead and sign off. Might be back tomorrow night. Not sure. Leave you with the sunset. And until next time, happy farming.